Gyro TV presents Seattle SuperSonics Basketball. Kingdome at Seattle, the SuperSonics and the San Antonio Spurs face off in the 5th game of their Western Conference semifinal series. And the Sonics are down 3 games to 1. Tonight's playoff action brought to you by People's Bank. People first and bankers second. And by Olympia Beer, featuring pure artesian brewing water, brought to you by the Artesians. Hi everybody, I'm Wayne Cody. This is Jim March. We're back again. And the SuperSonics and the Spurs tonight. Jimmy, the Sonics have absolutely nothing to lose. They've got to just go for it tonight because the Spurs could lose 1 or 2 games and still win this series. When the Sonics lose 1 more, they're out. So if they lose tonight, it's over and the Spurs face LA. What do you think?
Well, I think we can expect a big effort both from the San Antonio Spurs, who would like to end it tonight, and who have said some very strong things to that effect. They'd like to go to Los Angeles from here. But also, I think that we can expect a big effort from Seattle. There's a lot of veterans in the core of the players that are playing now for Seattle in the substitution scheme for Lenny Wilkins. I think have been here before and don't want to quit tonight, knowing that all they need to do is win tonight and Friday night, and it's back in their home Sunday afternoon.
You know, it's a funny thing to say, but in the 4 games played so far, Seattle has 7 more points total than the Spurs do. But the Spurs have won 3 games by 2 points, and Seattle won, what, 1 game by 15. Amazing how it's gone so far. So we'll watch the Spurs and the Sonics as the Sonics try to get to 2-3 in the series and make it go 1 more game in San Antonio Friday night. Coming up, the Sonics and the Spurs. It's either more basketball or the end of the season after this one. What I was going to say is Bob Blackburn, who you referred to as BB, has said that the law of average catches up with the team.
Exactly.
Now, as you said, San Antonio has won, what, 11 straight?
11 straight,
down
back
in
to 78.
Right? So Bob says the percentage, the law of averages are going to catch up. Tonight, the SuperSonics can go all out. San Antonio, though, in being polite, doesn't have to go all out. In other words, if the Sonics get way ahead, San Antonio could more or less say, take it, we'll beat you at home. They won't do that unless it's an 18 or 20-point game. But what I'm saying is the Sonics must play full blast the next 2 games. San Antonio necessarily doesn't have to do that.
In trying to look inside the players' heads, as we so often do as coaches and sideline observers, I think that might be a tendency for San Antonio. If it weren't for the fact that Stan Albeck has driven this club very, very hard, i.e., he took them down to El Paso during that week off and went 2-a-days. And that's sort of unheard of in the playoffs with a professional team. So I'd be very surprised if both teams don't come out with a vengeance tonight.
All right. A lot of things happening as the clubs get ready to go. One guy we'd like to say hello to, Rick Welts. You didn't work with Rick as much as I did in the past. The Sonics would like to extend their congratulations to their former public relations director, who's going to be leaving soon for New York, and he's going to take a management position with the National Basketball Association. So our best wishes to Seattle's own Rick Welts. We'll have one of our own in the National Basketball Association office. Injuries, everybody's fine. John Johnson, I talked to him on News Radio last night. He's doing great. And, of course, the Sonics are just wide awake, willing, and ready to play. Now, we saw some second-half changes in the lineup on Sunday. Do you think we might see any more here tonight?
I'd be very surprised. I think that you get to this point in the season, Wayne, and I just think that the players that are playing well right now are going to be the players that Lenny can go with.
All right, let's talk about the refereeing tonight. We've got a veteran in Daryl Gerritsen, who is also the supervisor of the referees on the right. Jess Kersey is on the left, and Jess is also the alternate tonight. Bob Rakel is in the middle, and he is the alternate this evening.
Of course, that was not Earl Strom on the right. That was Daryl Gerritsen.
Oh, did it have Earl Strom?
Yeah.
Good eyes. No. Daryl Gerritsen on the right, Jess Kersey on the left with the bright red hair. The alternate is Bob Rakel tonight, and he will not work the game but sit behind the official scoring bench. Taking a look, I like to look at the comparative averages of the 2 teams as they play during the regular season. Taking a look at their top scorer, George Gervin, at 32 points a game regular season. In the playoffs, 27 points.
Mark Olberding, regular season 13, in the playoffs 15. Gus Williams is up a point from the regular season, averaged 23-4. He's averaging 24-9 in the playoffs. Lonnie Shelton about the same, down a point in the playoffs. Jack Sikma, though, is up a couple of points in the playoffs, 21-1 from 19-6. There are some other disparities, but Danny Brains, like at 5 points a game regular season, simply hasn't had the minutes to score that many in the playoffs. Sonics are getting a little extra shooting as they're under the bucket, John Johnson and Phil Smith. They say they're rested, but when you fly to get back to Seattle and then work out, of course, a hard workout Tuesday, I guess maybe they are. San Antonio got here quickly. They were in town Monday, all set and ready to go.
I think that gives you an indication that Stan Albeck would like to end it tonight. They could have come in yesterday, but he brought him in a day early to get acclimated to the Pacific Northwest.
And then we've got to deal with what happens if the Sonics win tonight. Well, we know that we'll be showing you that game on Channel 7 Friday night from San Antonio. We'll give you a start time later, and it's all, of course, supposing that the Sonics will win. But I'm sure about 22, maybe 24,000 will be here tonight, knowing that they're going to win. It'll be exciting to find out what happens, and if we go back to San Antonio, that crowd there will be crazy on Friday night. And then if we come back to Seattle for a 7th game, it will be Sunday, but remember, it will be in the Coliseum.
Brass Quintet.
Yesterday afternoon at the cutoff time when commercial television wanted to do this game, only 14,000 tickets had been sold. But as I left the practice yesterday at about 2 o'clock, there must have been 100 people in line. I happened to go by the Kingdome today twice. 100 people in line.
Same 100?
Probably not. So you just have to know that the Seattle SuperSonics are going to have probably 22,000, maybe 24 here tonight. The 300 deck is pretty crowded. They're all the way over in right field, and they're way upstairs behind home plate on the 300 level. All the good seats and the seats up and back of us to the south of the Kingdome are gone as San Antonio is introduced. And let's bring you the starting lineups for San Antonio. They'll remain the same. Johnny Moore out of Texas, the second-year veteran who's becoming a star in the NBA, will go at one of the guards. George Gervin, Mr. Point, Mr. Offense, will go at the other out of Eastern Michigan in his 10th year. The guards tonight, well, it's interesting as you look at Gervin, you always figure him as a forward, but the forwards are Mark Olberding out of Minnesota playing in his 6th year. The other forward up front is Mike Mitchell. What an acquisition from the Cleveland Cavaliers out of Auburn 4 years ago. The center starting George Johnson out of Dillard 10 years ago. Stan Albeck is the head coach. Now for the SuperSonics. And you can hear the enthusiasm building already. I'm sure it's going to be that way most of the night.
Well, they saw both games from San Antonio, and what kind of a help that San Antonio got from that hemisphere crowd.
Let's watch the Sonics as they come out.
But things start getting better right now. How about a happy summer with another NBA championship?
Local radio personality Pat O'Day somehow has garnered the microphone and is what
These great stars we now introduce it can be.
going to introduce
From
the
the
Sonics
University
team.
of Virginia, 6'7", wearing number 42, Wally Walker.
Wally Walker is introduced to the crowd, and that's interesting. Pat's been around for years and years and years in radio in Seattle area.
The gentleman and a giant, 6'8", number 8, Lonnie Shelton.
Lonnie Shelton being introduced. George Tolles lost his job momentarily to Pat O'Day.
They say the gymnasium where he played college ball is the noisiest place in the world. Let's make the kingdom noisier. From Notre Dame, 6'7", number 22.
Bill Hanzik goes out through the green carpeted Husky cheerleader tunnel that they have made. Looks very concerned. So does Wally. Wally hasn't let on a smile yet.
Game faces.
Game faces. That's right.
Faces.
Gus Williams.
See if he's smiling. No. Hitch him up, lace him up tight, put your pea coat on, grab your lunch bucket. It's time to work.
It is time to go to work. You're right. And here's Jack, big boy, Sikma. Another game face. Jimmy, you love this, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You were born for basketball. You really were, my friend. I love it because I've been doing games since high school, games back in Illinois and Indiana to the pros. But I'll tell you, I thought I liked it, and I think you like it even more.
Jack Sikma, his 61st consecutive playoff dating back to his rookie year, has not missed a game.
Incredible young man and performer as the Sonics are. Fred Brown, the best sixth man in the game. Somebody called up last night and said, will Fred Brown be in the Hall of Fame? And I said, who knows? He's got a three more years to play, maybe even longer. He's now, 33 years old, out of Iowa in 1971 in his 11th year. Who knows? He could be in there. All right, here we go. Daryl Garrettson and Jess Kersey. You know the story. We don't have to tell you. The Sonics either win or it's over. San Antonio leaves immediately tomorrow, goes to L.A. to play the Lakers. If the Sonics win, both teams leave early in the morning to go back to San Antonio, and we would show you that game here on Channel 7 on Friday night. You see the combatants at center, George Johnson, who doesn't score very much, only 3-point average in the regular season, but he's an outstanding rebounder, and I think blocked more shots than
leads the league in shot blocks, right?
Than anybody else. And here's the tip-off. Game 5 taken by San Antonio's Mark Olberding. We'll set him again for you, though you're as familiar as we are. 0-0 is Johnny Moore. Trying to work it to Gervin. Everybody wants to stay out of foul trouble, yet they want to play good defense. A very off-balanced, horrible shot, and Jack Sikma garners the first rebound of the game. They got a 2-on-1 down floor. Gus going to pull up and shoot. 18-footer. He's got it. The basket, will it count? We're watching Daryl Garrettson. The foul is on Johnny Moore, and the basket will count. Gus gets the bucket, Johnny Moore gets the foul.
If there was a way to start the game positively for Seattle, that was the way. George Gervin, their star, takes a shot, misses it badly with harassment from Billy Hanzik. Jack Sikma, the league's second leading rebounder, outlets to Gus Williams. Instant fast break, a three-point play.
Little full court pressure applied to the Sonics as they go up 3-0. There's the three they needed to win the last 3 games. They lost them all by 2 from the corner. Light with a shot is Mitchell. Lonnie sky high for the rebound to Gus. 1-on-1, pulls up, 19-footer. He's got it. 5-0 Sonics. Watching for Stan Albeck to stand up. He hasn't moved yet. And he's going to let the Spurs just go on with now less than a minute gone in the game. Great start. Gus with 5. Moore. Driving layup underneath. Gets fouled on the way to the hoop. It's going to be on Jack Sikma. Jack gets a pushing call, a very important foul early, but he apparently knows he did it because you can watch his face and pretty well tell. Jack is so honest that if he's done it, he'll just say nothing. And if he hasn't done it, boy, will he get hot.
Lenny Wilkins said before the game tonight that he will do less double teaming of George Gervin, as he's really allowed players like Dave Corzine, Johnny Moore, and Michael Bratz to do some things that I don't think that he necessarily wants them to do.
As the baseline bums do in San Antonio, the Sonic crowd behind both baskets tonight, I'm sure, are going to wave up a storm. Gus, 7 straight points. They're going to wave up a storm on the foul and make San Antonio miss.
I know one thing that San Antonio doesn't want to happen. Stan Albeck does not want Seattle to blow out San Antonio. In other words, beat them very badly.
Nope. Because number 1, the Spurs would give Seattle's starting team a rest if they get too far ahead, and the crowd does not like the call against Bill Hanzik and the foul against George Gervin. Hanzik gets his first, and of course Gervin will go to the line in the act of shooting.
Billy had to go to the bench early Sunday with 3 fouls, and he played but 16 minutes. Now, George Gervin got but 19 points, and I think that was largely due to the fine play of Phil Smith off the bench, who I thought just played magnificent basketball Sunday.
We'll check with John Barry and later on give you a show of the people up and back of the baskets when it gets down to crunch time, because they're going to be waving handkerchiefs, flags, everything they can find probably each other's ties later in the game. It's 7-3. The foul line has been the only place San Antonio has scored, and Gus Williams has the first Sonic 7 points. Jack will work left against Johnson. Underneath, Jess Kersey found something. An offensive foul on the Sonics.
That's on Billy Hanzik, and that's his second, and Lenny, I think, is upset at that because you can't, if you're Bill Hanzik, you can't do that. You got to guard George Gervin all night, and you're susceptible to fouls in that situation.
That's right. Now Bill Hanzik throws his arms up and lets Gervin go by him. Olberding will take it from the right side, in and out. Lonnie with a big rebound. Lonnie on those 2 rebounds, I think, has gone higher, and I've seen him go all year. Walker looked over Olberding, didn't take it. Gus has got the hot hand. They lay off him a second. He shoots 9 straight. The Wizard has 9. The first 9 for the Sonics.
If he keeps that up, we may see his first 48-minute performance tonight.
Now, true, and his high for the year was 42 in the regular season, also a career, if I remember. Here's Gervin, clear out at the line. It's a 19-footer to calm the crowd, 9-5.
He has the ability to do that. That is, calm the crowd and hit that 19-footer.
Now, Gus is smart enough to look away at this point of the game and not take a bad shot, even though he's hot. But if they can get him at least free for a second, he'll put it up. Why not? Gus to the bucket. Tried to double underhand pump it. The foul is going to be called on San Antonio. It's Johnson? No, it's called on Mark Olberding. Mark picks up his first personal foul, and Gus will go to the line with a chance to get the first 11 points for the Sonics. And I'm guessing that's a team record. I have no idea of knowing. We'll have to ask Nancy.
Well, if you don't know, I certainly don't.
I don't know whether they keep that stat or not. It's probably in the book somewhere. Let's lean over and ask Nancy if she can find that later on. It might be something to think about. 11 straight points for one individual to start the game. I'll just call it a team record till we find out better. How's that? I'll make one up until we find out. More on the left side. That's Gervin along the baseline. Yes, George is hot. Stan Albeck up now and animated. 11-7. Gus to Lonnie. He's 9 feet away, going for the little hooker. Block shot. George Johnson blocked it away. Lonnie will get credit for it. So Gus gets the first 11. Lonnie has 2, and it's 13-7. Sonics by 6. 9:19 to go, first quarter.
In the game Seattle won here about a month ago, George Gervin had 19 first quarter points. So I would expect that if they're not going to double team, that he might go out big early. But as you recall, Seattle won the game very handily.
Olberding hits from the right side, his first 2. Billy Hanzik looked at a shot, going to go to the hoop. Blocking called on Olberding, his second, and he's unhappy about it. On the left top of your picture, you see him standing. There he is. Is that Don James sitting behind him? Looks like the Husky coach. Maybe not. Regardless, Olberding will get the foul called.
I think it's still a foul, even though Don might not be there.
Smart aleck. Jack, 2-man with Gus. Jack looks at it, goes in under Johnson. Backward layup, he gets it. Nice play by Jack. Sonics look like a different team, Jim.
Well, right out of the gate, they certainly do, but there's still, 44 minutes to go.
What a life in the NBA. You and I have no idea if we're going to San Antonio tomorrow morning. If the Sonics win, we are. If they don't, we're not. Of course, we want to go. Gervin, hot. 6-footer as he goes up over everybody, and Jack and Gus will bring it down. 15-11, the Sonics by 4. Gus along the baseline, fall away, missed it. Great play by Wally Walker. Up, took the ball off the lip and laid it in.
Wally Walker did just a great job of filling the middle of the court. And of course, the ball came right there, and that's just being in the right place at the right time.
Moore's shot will not go. He gets fouled underneath, and we'll hold our breath. It is going to be on Jack, his second in the first 4 minutes of this contest. Now he's a little unhappy, so he apparently didn't feel he got that call. Johnny Moore goes to the line. Regular season, he shot 67%, but in the playoffs, he's shooting 83%.
Johnny Moore, the leader in the league in assists at about 9 and some change. Very, very good, of course, at getting the ball to the right people. And when you're playing alongside of George Gervin, that sort of hypes your assist average.
Moore makes a pair. It's 17-13, Sonics by 4, but they are running, and they look hot, and they look very, very hungry to win this one. Wally to Hanzik, to Wally, to Gus, to Jack against Johnson, who can jump sky high. Jack goes into him. Blocking on Johnson. It is. Now that could have gone either way. Jack had the position, and yet Johnson looked like he was standing there. So George gets the first personal foul, but the 4th team foul. The next one, the Sonics would go to the line unless it's an offensive foul. So Wally Stops, takes it, 16-footer, in and out. Johnson with a rebound. And he gives to Johnny Moore, who'll bring it down. Gervin, Hanzik on him. Double team shot off the corner of the bucket. Olberding got it. Underneath, Lonnie just takes it away. Elbeck can't believe there wasn't a foul. Hanzik's going to shoot it. Got it.
Not only Albeck doesn't believe there wasn't a foul, but Olberding doesn't either, as he was just embarrassed on that play. Lonnie just a great block and just plucked it out of midair. 6-point Sonic lead. That's their biggest. San Antonio led by 1. Moore over Gus. Gets it. So John Moore is hot. Matter of fact, San Antonio's hot. We'll have the first percentages on a timeout. Yes, offensive foul on Wally Walker. He kind of leaned into Johnny Moore in an effort to try and pick as Gus was coming around. Good call.
6:57 to go. Very first quarter at the Kingdome. The SuperSonics are up 19-15. We'll be back. If the Sonics win, the series continues. If the Sonics lose, it's the summertime break in the NBA. Unofficial shooting, the Sonics 8 out of 10, San Antonio 5 out of 10. Both clubs just burning it up. Somebody's got an armadillo. Oh, the Weedle's got an armadillo in tow. A phony baloney one at that, but it says Go Sonics on it. A lot of signs around the Kingdome. One that I probably couldn't give you exactly verbally on TV, but something about Cool the Hot Spurs, which would give a local eatery some publicity. There are a couple, 3 others hanging around. So the Sonic fans are into it. We'll get a crowd count in the third quarter, and we're back to action. Sonics by 4. The guys in black, San Antonio with the basketball. Mitchell, who's been quiet, loses it off his legs and goes out of play. Well, Gene Peterson was right on with the stats. 80% Sonics correct, 50% San Antonio correct.
Seattle owning a small edge in rebounding, 6-2.
Lonnie, 14-footer, no, and almost lost it. If George Johnson had turned and started the other way moments earlier, somebody would have been there in a white shirt for the rebound. Olberding, Wally just takes it away from him. Lead to Gus. He's going to go in for an easy layup. The Williams with 13.
He's out very quickly, and credit Wally Walker with some fine defense there as he just stole the ball from Olberding.
Just took it away, and Mark is not having a great start tonight. Olberding so far with 2 points, but a couple personal fouls and a couple of mistakes.
Remember, he's on that flat wheel. That right ankle's a bit sore.
They took it away from Gervin. Jack helped out. Up floor to Gus. To Lonnie. Quick pass. Hanzik. Layup. Good.
Well, that's the way to run the break. The ball did not touch the ground as it went from Gus to Lonnie to Hanzik for a bucket.
I love it. San Antonio calls timeout. The SuperSonics want this game. And we've got a timeout at the Kingdome. The Sonics spurting away from the Spurs. They get the last 4 points in a row. The Sonics lead 23-15. 5:46 to go. First quarter at the Kingdome. I'm Wayne Cody with sidekick Jim Marsh. And Jimmy and I are looking for a trip to San Antonio tomorrow if the Sonics bail this one out. Game 6 would be Friday night. But the Sonics must win this. Then they'd have to win Friday to get back to Game 7 in the Coliseum Sunday. Gervin, short, way short. Lonnie batted it. Did he get to it? Yeah, the hand to Wally. To Hanzik. They might slow it down. They had a 2-on-3 going. Gus, wide open, 16-footer. No. Jack with a big rebound. To the hoop.
A nice left-hander. He now has 4. More importantly, he has 4 rebounds.
Sam Shulman is not in his normal seat tonight. He's been ill. Jack with a rebound, and he hopes to get to San Antonio if there's a game Friday. Wally to the hoop. Oh, the Sonics couldn't be playing any better. They lead by 12. Woo! Stan Albeck, I think when they get in front court, wants a 20-second timeout. So he's got a 20-second timeout for San Antonio. That's why. Part of the crowd. Oh, my.
Well, the thing that happens when you allow, if you're San Antonio, you allow Seattle to win big tonight. I mean, get just all momentum going as it has been going so far, is that it will translate into some problems for San Antonio down in the hemisphere. Here's a defensive rebound to his 5th of the ball game, an outlet to half court to Gus, to Wally. Wally 2-on-1. Mark Olberding 2 fouls, didn't commit, and he takes it right to the basket. When I say didn't commit, he didn't commit to play defense.
Second he goes to Wally, though he lays it off to Gus. Mark knows that, so he might as well protect the man that's going with the ball right then. 12-point Sonic lead. 4:51 in the quarter. Mitchell finally hits one. That basket's going to count. And the foul, who'd he call it on? Is it on Lonnie? Yeah, it's on Lonnie. First personal. That's the 14th foul. Both clubs have 14 fouls. Mike Bratz, who just absolutely killed the Sonics. Well, they have 3 3-pointers, and he's done so well in the series. On the year, of course, he's a fine 3-point shooter. He's got 46 out of 138. And 3 for 9 in this series.
I'd stretch that into a great 3-point shooter. And those were some pressure-packed 3-point range shots. Outstanding young man out of Stanford.
Jack on the right side. Fakes Johnson, takes the shot. He missed it. Hanzik with a marvelous tip. Bill Hanzik, the only man among 4 black-shirted Spurs, and he lays it in. Hands with 6, his season average in the first quarter. That's Banks in the ball game. As Stan Albeck makes a few changes. The shot is up, and the foul is called on Lonnie, and Daryl Gerritsen looks right at Lenny as he calls it, just daring him to say any more. Take another look at the foul, Jim.
Daryl Gerritsen and Jess Kersey are without question. And that right hand resting on Mike Mitchell might have been where Daryl called it, because Daryl and Jess are certainly among the top 5 in the NBA.
Let's ask our crew to see that one again. He's going to take the foul shot. We've got time if we can get that back up again in cue. And you'll see if Lonnie fouled it. Now take one more look and I'll call the foul shot. Watch Lonnie there.
Right hand.
Back to live. Mitchell hits a pair.
He's 23 out of 23 in this series.
29 to 20. Sonics lead by 9. The biggest margin 12. Lonnie going to go baseline up. Got a little bit too many arms involved in the air, and somebody got a hold of him, and Kersey finds it on George Johnson. That's his second personal foul. Now here's Lonnie getting fouled.
Think Lonnie wanted this basket? That's strength.
Oh. Lonnie at the line during the regular season shot 78%, shooting 79 in the playoffs, and he cans that one. 30-20, Sonics by 10.
Lonnie way up in field goal percentage in the playoffs. He's up over 50% at 55%. His shooting has certainly improved in the playoffs.
Lonnie stops at 3 points for the moment. Sonics still lead by 10. Still first quarter, still 4 minutes to go. Gervin off balance, hits it. He can hit from anywhere.
Well, Billy Hanzik knocked it out of his hand, and George just kind of picked it up and just dropped it in very calmly.
James Donaldson, who is in for the moment for Jack Sikma, to give him a little rest. We'll get under that hoop. We're going to go to him with James Trout to Gus. 18-footer, no. Almost jump ball, but finally wrestling away is Gene Banks. Bratz into Gus. Looks for Mitchell or Gervin. Banks going to shoot it. Makes it. Gene Banks, who hits 48% in the regular season, but only 36 in the playoffs. The rookie out of Duke makes it 30-24. 6 straight points now for San Antonio.
Well, you can see the problem when George Gervin backs into James Donaldson. There's no passing lane for Hanzik.
Donaldson, but it gets tipped out, and Lonnie has it back and goes to Hanzik with a new clock. 20 seconds remaining. Lenny yells something. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Big scoring quarter for the Sonics. See how they work the half court now. So Lonnie going to drive, and the foul is going to be called against San Antonio. Going on the floor in a heap is Mike Mitchell, and he gets his first personal foul of the game. That's the 15th foul. Lonnie's at the line.
Well, in that possession there, Seattle had it. Were beginning to stagnate a little bit, and they were standing around, and it was made possible by the fact that George Gervin drops way back into the lap of James Donaldson, thereby giving Billy Hanzik that 18 to 20 footer. And Billy's got to step up and knock that one in. He's got 6 points already. He's 3 for 3 from the field. He has to have the confidence to just take the dribble up, take the slack up, and knock it in.
Lonnie misses a pair. 3 straight Lonnie's missed from the foul line, and it's still the Sonics by now only 6. Well, foul shots can hurt you. The Sonics are only 4 out of 7. San Antonio 8 out of 9. Banks got fouled, no call. Against Lonnie. No basket, no shot, and I'm worried that Lonnie's got his third. He does. Well, Daryl Gerritsen has got his whistle in his mouth and doesn't seem to want to let off of it. And we're going to see Ray Tolbert very early for Lonnie Shelton. Now, Lonnie's only scored 3 points, but he was so intense on those early rebounds that that's got to hurt a little bit in this first quarter to get Lonnie involved with 3. And Daryl Gerritsen is glaring at Lenny, but Lenny's glaring back. Lenny says, nice going, Lonnie, and Lonnie goes to the bench to towel down a little bit, and he'll watch Mike Mitchell go to the line and try and get a pair of foul shots.
Well, that's his first miss in the series.
Yep.
His first ever miss in the playoffs, this being his first playoff experience.
Well, he wouldn't have been there with the Cavaliers if he stayed there, maybe ever. Missed it both. Well, you get one, you miss the other one. Normally, didn't happen. 2 misses in a row after Lonnie missed 3, and the Sonics still by 6. Now, Ray Tolbert will not be called on to score. He's going to be called on to rebound and move that basketball. You don't need any rookie mistakes, and Tolbert knows it. He's in there to fill in for Lonnie, but he doesn't have to get a lot of points. Wally goes up, 17-footer. Nope. Along the right baseline, Bratz comes down with it, and the Spurs go the other way. Gus interferes, but can't get it away. Bratz, it's blocked in midair. The layup almost by Gervin, and Hanzik gets it back right in his lap. Nice play by Billy. Wally, 8-footer will not go. Tolbert had it, lost it. Gus punches it, and Hanzik gets it back. New shot clock. Some hustle on the part of the Sonics, and they're getting a bounce or 2 tonight.
That's very few bounces that they got the other night, especially late in both of those games.
Tolbert going to go to the hoop. Slam dunk is in. What happened? No bucket. 3-second violation or a foul on Donaldson. It's a foul on James Donaldson. Oh, that would have given Tolbert a lot of confidence if he'd have been able to go down the lane and slam dunk that as he didn't get the bucket. But there's no basket counted, and Donaldson picks up 3 personal foul.
No foul.
Okay, he showed 3 seconds first. That's what I said, and then showed Donaldson. So he's calling the 3 seconds on Donaldson. No personal foul. No foul on Donaldson.
Well, George Gervin working very hard now to try to get the basketball.
And trying to bang into Hanzik as much as he can. Shoots and hits. The man can hit him out of a phone booth, not even looking at the bucket. He's amazing. Gervin brings the Spurs back to within 4, and he's got 12.
I don't think he's hit the orange thing yet.
No, he's hot. Great shooter. To Gus, to Hanzik. He's at the foul line. Passes to Donaldson. Got knocked around. Goes up, can't get it there. Tipped in the air. Got to be a foul on San Antonio, doesn't it? Yep, and it's called against George Johnson. That's got to be number 3 on George. Their rebounding start.
That's a pass down inside by Hanzik, but I think as Lenny brought Billy over to talk to him a moment ago, he has to shoot that one. You can't jump to pass from 14 feet. You got to jump to shoot.
Exactly what Lenny told him. It had to be. He says that's the shot, you take it. There's George, and here's James.
That's 2 shots.
Donaldson will go to the line for a pair, and that brings in Dave Corzine. Or George Johnson out of DePaul, the 4th-year player.
17 points Sunday, and 4 straight free throws down the stretch Sunday to solidify that Spur win.
Lenny chirping with Daryl Gerritsen on the sidelines right here. Lenny stands up now to say something. Daryl says, well, I know that, Lenny. Lenny's still chirping. Daryl's not looking at him.
Lenny's just getting in better position to talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Daryl does a pretty smart thing here. He comes over to listen to Lenny. You know, a lot of officials will stay away and the coach brews.
Yeah.
Now Daryl comes over. Lenny has a chance to let some of that steam off and talk to him a little bit. And that's a good sign. That's a sign of a pretty good official.
Donaldson, well, we know Gerritsen is, certainly. So's Jess Cruiser. 6-point lead for the Sonics now. 45 seconds to go first quarter. Banks going to take another one. Oh, look at this kid shoot the lights out. Gene Banks hits his 2nd long one, and it's a 4-point Sonic spread. They have been up by, remember, as many as 12.
Well, they've also shown the tendency to build good leads, and they have also shown it to let those leads slip.
Tolbert just hands it to Gus, then goes into the play that they've called. Going to go to Riemann. Going to the hoop. Did he travel? What happened? A call underneath? Foul before the shot called against Mike Mitchell, his 2nd. So the Spurs have racked up a lot of fouls. Let me run them down. Moore with 1, Mitchell with 2, George Johnson with 3, and Olberding with 2. And JJ will come in now, probably for Wally Walker, but we'll wait and see. Tolbert at the line would like to get a point. He's got it.
They've played very few minutes in this series.
Yeah. That's Ray's first foul shot. And Lenny comes over to have a chat with Wally as he comes out for JJ. Tolbert gets a pair. Ray will be proud of that. It's 34-28, 28 seconds left. First quarter. Olberding telling his club what he wants. Bratz with a heavily advantaged right thigh. I didn't see that the last few ball games. It's picked it up somewhere. Sonics playing defense, figuring San Antonio's going to take the last one. Bratz trying to get away from Gus. JJ helps out. Three-pointer, no good. Gervin's going to get it off. 2 seconds to go. He makes it, and the quarter will end. Oh my, oh my. There's one of the bounces we talk about. I'm not crying, but you got to admit, Bratz takes the three-pointer, and it comes right into Gervin's hands, and he can go right up with it with 2 seconds showing on the clock and hits it. We're at the end of the first quarter at the Kingdome. It's the Sonics 34, the Spurs 30.
We're back with second quarter action. 34-30 Seattle over the San Antonio Spurs. Seattle running off to a 12-point lead. San Antonio coming right back with George Gervin knocking in his 12th point there with the seconds ticking off in the first quarter.
Both clubs identical from the foul line. 8 out of 11 for 73%. 34-30, quarter two. The Sonics really encouraged in the first few minutes of play, but they let San Antonio get back in it. But San Antonio was also hot shooting. Donaldson to the hoop, look out, basket. He is there, gets the bucket, and gets fouled, and I think it's on Gervin. George Gervin, yeah, his first.
Excellent pass. This is the most difficult attempt by Johnny Johnson. He puts it right on the money, and James, though he does take a dribble, it strengthens his position, and he just throws it down with force.
He'd have had to go up and take a little 4-footer dinky shot if he doesn't dribble.
Right.
At that time, he was probably very smart in doing it.
He's really becoming better at picking those spots to dribble and not to dribble.
Yeah, you're right with that line. It strengthened his position. That's exactly right. Here's Donaldson staring at that hoop. He has 4, looking for 5. He's got it.
He hit 2 big pressure-packed free throws down in San Antonio with those baseline bumps all over it.
That was Friday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, here's Bratz into Gus. 7-point Sonic lead. Early moment, second quarter. Gus after Bratz. Does he get it? Ball is loose. Colbert's got it. Can he get it? Dives after it. What happened? It got out of his hands. My, oh my, oh my.
8 seconds on the clock. Ray and Gus hooking up to cause some problems for Michael Bratz. Gus is really applying pressure in the backcourt.
Yeah, look at the Sonics put on the full court now, trying to give him no shot. 3 seconds. They got to shoot it right now. They lose it out of play as Bratz. Corzine said it hit a Sonic.
Well, he was so emphatic on that, it probably did.
All right, if we have that, we'll look at it, but it's only one of those flash points in the game. Let's see if we see it. All right, forget it. We don't have time. We're going to get the shot in. It's off and good. Oh, my. Mike Mitchell cans it 37-32.
Talking about those breaks and the fact that Seattle seemingly had the ball and then only to give it up, and Mike Mitchell scores.
JJ, top of the key. Going to go to the hoop with that line driver. It falls in. John Johnson out of retirement that he was in for, what, 5 days? And gets a hoop 39-32. Sonics still by 7. They led by 12, remember. Gus interferes. They're on the floor. Well, they're rolling around. Gus has got it. Tackled. Throws it away. More people on the floor. We got first and 10 at the 15-yard line. Look at this. I've never seen so many ball players in short pants laying on a hardwood floor. It looks like a big dice game.
Do you think either team doesn't want this ball game?
You think they don't?
So much for that mentality of San Antonio. Well, hey, we'll just get him back in the hemisphere.
Watch it one more time. I got it. You get it. I got it. Nope, give it to me. Gus, get it. Oh, Gus has got it. Over the top, rolls away. He'll lay on it, squirts away, and they all go for it.
Well, they're also being smart, because if you don't leave your feet, you're going to get hurt.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. All right, Phil Smith is going to come in if he can right here. Darryl will say yes or no. Yep. Phil Smith in for Hanzik on the jump ball at center court. Oh, you can feel the intensity. You don't feel any pressure yet on the Sonics. You won't feel that till the third or fourth quarter from this crowd. But you can just feel the electric pressure, the intensity of both these clubs. Corzine going up. JJ tipped it, but San Antonio's got it. 10:39 to go, second quarter. Bratz on the drive to the hoop, 4-footer. He gets it off the glass. Michael has been such a force in this playoff, and yet he was not that for San Antonio during the regular season. He's come into his own. Former, Phoenix Sun?
Phoenix Sun, Cleveland Cavalier, Dallas Maverick for a week.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Here's Gus. Nope, off the lip. JJ right in the middle of traffic. Shovels to Gus, the layup. Beautiful. What a pass by the veteran John Johnson.
Seattle shot 61% in that first quarter. San Antonio not far behind at 54%.
Only experience lets you do that. Passing underneath. No bucket, I don't believe.
Number 32,
No basket as the foul is called against Ray Tolbert. No hoop. Watch again, right with our floor level camera. What did Ray Tolbert do?
He was a good foot away.
Oh my, oh my. What did he do? A hook shot up and over. Mike Mitchell now coming with 9 points, and it's 41-36. Sonics by 5. Gee, that angle of our camera didn't show Ray Tolbert doing a thing. Fred Brown in the game. Here's JJ. He's going to take the line drive. Missed it off the heel. Bratz with a rebound. Thought he traveled, but no, I guess not. And the black shirts of San Antonio go to the east end of the Kingdom. Gervin on Smith. Well, it gets tipped in. Corzine is going to get credit for it, and the Sonics are up by only 3. And wait a minute, the officials are going to call a timeout for a second. He wants Fred Brown to take off his chain. You're not supposed to, for the last 3 years in the NBA, play with any jewelry, and Fred Brown had his gold chain around his neck, and Daryl Garrettson even spotted that. Sonics will bring it down. It's a little momentary rest.
Dave Corzine works very hard, and he will be a problem, believe me, for James Donaldson in blocking him off the boards.
JJ, top of the key, downtown, 21-footer, no. High in the air, Donaldson tips it once, twice. JJ gets it back, new clock. John goes right into the fray, going to drive to the hoop, passes away to Brown to take it from the same spot. This one he gets.
The first one was just firing for effect.
Yeah, he was just kidding.
Now we go.
Yeah, he got Maggie's drawers on the first one, which is an old Army expression when you miss the target. Second time, he was right in the bullseye. Corzine, there you are. You talked about it over Donaldson. He gets the hoop. Sonics still by 3.
Dave Corzine shows no intimidation to James Donaldson. He turns and goes right in his face.
Downtown, missed it off the heel. Underneath, Banks with a rebound. Lonnie perplexed, not angry, but he just had this look on his face as if to say, Gervin, short. Donaldson tipped it. Smith reaches under. They tie him up. Another tie up on the floor, and I think we got a jump ball again. Nope. Foul is going to be called on
Phil Smith. His first.
That's right. Our vantage point here at the Kingdom, very honestly, at home is not the best. We have to look over the entire official row in front of us. It's the only place in the league we don't broadcast from the front row. Hopefully that'll be changed next year. And sometimes it gets him down on the floor in front and we can't see it. Gervin ducks once, twice, off the hoop. Jack had it. Oh, Gervin gets out to get it. Corzine, 12-footer, missed it. Donaldson with a big hoop, rebound. Sonics by 3. Smith, last minute pass to JJ. And try and go, what a pass to Brown, but he got fouled on the way there. John sees passes that others do not. The foul is on Gene Banks, his first. And that is the second team foul, so the Sonics will put it into play. No team fouls considered in the last 2 minutes as the subject changes. Donaldson off the glass, no, and Olberding with a rebound. 43-40. Banks, he's hurt the Sonics a little bit tonight. He gets his own rebound on the opposite side, shoots and makes it. Well, they got to get a hand in Gene Banks' face now because he's getting dangerous. He's got himself 6 points, and Lenny wants a timeout. Jimmy, the Sonics have gone a little flat for the moment.
Well, the game has peaks and valleys, and they enjoyed a big peak there in the first quarter, and right now they're in a bit of a valley.
7:39 to go, second quarter. The Sonics will rest and talk it over. They lead the Spurs by 1, but they led a few minutes ago by 12. Jack Sikma walking out, kind of surveying the crowd in a moment's rest. The Spurs come out with Corzine and Banks, also Olberding, Bratz, and Johnny Moore, 0-0 back in the lineup.
San Antonio this quarter shooting 55%, 6 for 11. Seattle, but 44%, 4 for 9.
JJ to Fred Brown. Seems like the Sonics have lost a little offensive punch with Gus on the bench, and Sal Jack is back in. 8-footer by Jack. No, it won't go. Sonics cold at the moment, and Banks comes away with the ball.
Jack looking for some call on that as Olberding really appeared to have come under it.
Foul call. Jess Corzine spotted somebody holding underneath, and Jack Sikma's got his third personal foul. So Danny Brains is going to go into the ball game. Brains will replace.
He's in for James Donaldson as Jack has 3 fouls.
And Gus is back in for Phil Smith, so Brains will get some play now.
You know, when you build that 3-point or 12-point lead as Seattle did earlier in the game, they were certainly clicking right there. They were getting the fast break going, and they were playing very well as a 5-man unit. But when substitutions are made, sometimes those substitutions don't work for the best. Now, in San Antonio's case, fellows like Eugene Banks, Michael Bratz had come off and played very well and kind of fitted in very well.
Mark Olberding ties it up. The Sonics have only 9 points in this quarter. In the first 5 minutes, they had 34 at the end of the quarter. Now they only have 43. Fred Brown, double pump off the end of the bankboard, and San Antonio can't get to it as they knock it out. Should be Sonic ball it is.
Well, right now, Seattle coming up with some very, very pressured shots.
Almost have to stand on Walter Schoenfeld's toes over there to throw that ball inbounds. JJ, right side, knocked away. Moore was there. John tries to tie him up. Can't do it. Olberding, half court to Bratz. Corzine, back from behind. Beautiful play by Fred Brown. Good defense. JJ running like a kid to Fred Brown, his former teammate at Iowa. Sikma to the hoop. Will not go. Jack back. No, won't go. Jack again. Get in there. He got it. And he got fouled, I believe.
Well, that's good hard work, both by Jack Sikma and John Johnson, and also Danny Brains in there trying to keep that ball alive. Playing volleyball up there on the boards.
Foul on Corzine once. Twice. I got the title of the song, 3 times a lay-in. Gerritsen will give it to Jack for the single shot. Jackson with 6, looking for number 7, and the Sonics would be back in the lead by 3.
Remember, Lonnie Shelton on the bench with 3 fouls, and Billy Hanzik right beside him with 2.
A lot of fouls in this game.
This young man right here at the free throw line, he has 3 fouls.
He's got it. 7 points for Jack, and the Sonics back by 3. And the Sonics have to lighten up, but they got to get a lot of full court action going. Plus, they got to get a few hands and a few shooters' faces, but they can't bump them around. Olberding, Bratz, wave at him, don't hit him. What happened?
Well, Johnny Johnson went up and got his foot on that ball, and that's kicking.
Yep, so they get a new clock, 24-second clock. Olberding will bring it in.
I've been impressed with the bench of San Antonio's ability that San Antonio showed to play good basketball, even though Gervin's on the bench.
Folks, Jack Sikma has his 4th foul, and he's going to have to come out of there right now. James Donaldson comes back. Jack's got 4 at the midway point of the second quarter. I don't know anything else that could have happened that could have been worse than that. And Jack was holding along the baseline, just playing aggressive. You see him mumbling and muttering to himself. Lenny will say, nice playing, and Jack's not happy. 4 fouls. Well, Sonics will have the rebounding of Donaldson. He's going to have to turn into an offensive threat. Banks shoots. My word.
Seattle will gladly let him take those shots.
Yeah.
But he continues to shoot them.
He's still shooting them, and he's still hitting them. Sonics by 1. Yep, things were bright. Now they're a little darker. Donaldson gets it batted away, and the Spurs interfere and take it away again. Sonics are sloppy in this quarter. Olberding. Spurs by 1, and this crowd is silent. Just plain silent. Timeout again, Seattle, as Lenny is going to try and sit him down and do something with him. Well, the officials have been active with their whistles. Mitchell with 2, Johnson with 3, Olberding with 2 for San Antonio. But the Sonics, Lonnie with 3, Jack with 4. The score, 47-46, San Antonio. We'll be back right after this. One of the signs at the Kingdom, Sonics 5 for 14 in the quarter, only 36% now. And the Spurs picking it up 8 out of 13, now 62% in the quarter.
Well, when they got the ball down deep to James Donaldson, they're just converging. San Antonio's converging a couple of players to harass James. And James rather nonchalantly passed the ball over to the other side of the court where Johnny Johnson was, and that's where the ball was stolen that led to Mark Olberding's basket.
All right, Sonics need some offense out of the players they have in there, and it's going to be probably Gus and Fred. Gus at the foul line, little 8-footer. He missed it, tipped back out, and Gus has it back on a new shot. Clock almost stolen away. Moore is so quick. Gus to the hoop. It's not there. Corzine with a rebound. Sonics cold at the moment. They can ill afford to be at any point in the game. Olberding, they lost it. Pass to Banks went off his hands, and it'll be Sonic basketball down by 1.
A couple of very difficult shots by Gus. Difficult in it. There were a couple of people on him. They were good shots. He was inside the paint. They were just very hard shots.
17-12. The Spurs have outscored the Sonics second quarter. Gus along the line against Bratz. Certainly not as quick as Moore, but tough on defense. Downtown travel.
Yeah.
Steps by Fred. Yep, it was a good call. Everybody could see it.
Fred trying to improve his position.
Lonnie arms folded. Can't be happy about the second quarter, but the first one was a beauty. Gus got the first 11 in the game, and the Sonics got 34 in the first quarter. Moore, Bratz, 19-footer. He hits. 49-46. Bill Hanzik will be back in. Such an elusive thing, a lead. Fred Brown, 2-pointer, didn't even get to the hoop, went off the heel, and Moore comes out with it. They got a 3-on-1 on Gus. Look out, Gus. Moore missed it. The layup back in good. Well, Gene Banks was there, and now the Spurs are jumping up to a 5-point lead, their biggest of the game.
One might ask, where are the Sonics on that? Gus, the only player down there.
Well, they've got to do something, Jimmy.
Look at how they're packing inside.
To Brains, laid it up, couldn't get it, didn't get fouled, and Moore goes the other way, and the crowd's a little unhappy. No foul was called. Moore around Fred Brown like a revolving door, and he gets 2, and it's 53-46. 7-point San Antonio lead, and the Spurs come all the way out on the court to meet their teammates. Wow, what a turnaround.
They certainly know how big this game is. And the fact that they can roar back after being down by 12 in the first quarter certainly has to make their outlook fairly bright.
All right, what is happening, not only in the entire series, but right here. Look at this. Let's get a picture of this. Daryl Garrettson and Lenny Wilkins nose to nose on the sideline. Lenny came right over to Daryl Garrettson, and they were nose to nose, and Daryl's back at the bench, and Lenny's back in his spot now. And Daryl and Lenny are fairly decent friends off the court. Daryl's a fairly decent guy to deal with, but he was nose to nose with Lenny, and Lenny pressed the argument. Now Daryl walking around, and Fred Brown's going to be sent out to talk to him. See our camera person.
Might be 4 parts frustration, 6 parts complaining about a specific call. Now, Lenny has to be upset, I think, with his team's play from perhaps even the outset of the second quarter there when they lost that 12-point lead, Seattle did.
Before we got interrupted, I asked you basically what's happening. Sonics are cold right now.
Well, they're stagnant offensively. They're not getting any movement, either player or ball movement, and you know that's by and large due to the fact that Jack's on the bench and Wally as starters on the bench and Lonnie, and so some reserves are playing together, and you know some of these players haven't played much in the playoffs, and they're just standing around offensively, and that's allowing San Antonio to get easy baskets.
All right, Sonics bring it down. Gus holds up both fists to start a play, 53-46. My, oh my, a 23-point quarter already for San Antonio. The Sonics have not been scoring. Wally working it in, takes the jumper. It will not go. John Johnson had it, lost it. And finally the Spurs come up with it. Moore at half court. Corzine.
This is all being done, remember, without George Gervin on the court.
That's right. Moore. They finally miss one, but they get the rebound, lay it up, and they get fouled. Banks got fouled and hit hard.
Well, that's just good hustle on Banks' part. He was battling a couple Sonics there, and he just outfought them for the basketball.
Donaldson fouled him. That's James. That's his first. That's right. The other one was a 3-second call, and there was the foul. And Banks is going to go to the line. And John Johnson trying to say something as Greg Kelser comes into the game. Sonics trying to get some new blood in there and some young life. See what they can do. This is Banks.
reaching down and trying anything right now.
He's got 10 points off the bench, and he misses. And San Antonio is really no whiz at the line. They're only 9 out of 14. Tolbert's going to come back in now. So Lenny, I think, is going to try and keep it close to the end of the quarter and then start the first team and let them play it out. They have to. There's no waiting till tomorrow. 54-46. The Sonics led by 12. Now the Spurs are up by 8. And the Sonics have had a miserable scoring quarter, only 12 points. Wally from the foul line. Off the hoop, tipped up, foul underneath on the Sonics. Loose ball foul is called on Greg Kelser. And the Sonics are over the limit, so the Spurs will go to the line. It's like a downhill slide, Jimmy, and more or less a snow slide or an avalanche. You're trying to grab onto a tree or something and stop it, and there's nothing to reach for.
No, there's just nothing. Then you have a couple of your starters who stalwarts all season long, harnessed with foul trouble, so you don't want to just needlessly put them back in the first half and pick up fouls that, you know, when you think you might make a run there in the second half.
Spurs helping a little from the line by missing. Now they're 10 out of 16 as Banks missed the first. But they're still up by 8, and he can put them up by 9. He did not, and Wally gets the rebound. So the Sonics are getting helped by the Spurs from the foul line, and they just need some offense. They're flat. Tolbert looking for Wally. To Kelser, who just hasn't seen much action in these games. Here's Gus.
Well, that's some good man movement. They're running a little flex offense there. They're getting the ball reversed from side to side, and what do you know? They come up with a nice 18-footer.
54-48, 2:38 to go. Moore will play into Gus. Tolbert all over Corzine. Corzine falls down, and we got a foul. Is it on Ray? Hold it.
Well, I'm not sure. 24-second clock he showed up.
Clock.
It was a kick on Gus Williams as he was trying to defend against the pass inside. Ray Tolbert has a big chore now to guard a much bigger Dave Corzine inside.
And he's really pushing and shoving him. Gets in front of him. Bratz with it. Now Corzine against Tolbert. Layup is good off the glass, and he is fouled by Ray Tolbert. Ray is just doing a little too much in his rookie enthusiasm. And take another look. He's been playing Corzine this close, and he does it again right here.
Trying to establish position inside. Dave Corzine gets the better of that exchange as he does get the ball very, very deep in the lane. And Dave Corzine certainly no Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but right now he's playing against a rookie.
Spurs miss again, 10 for 18. Thank you for that at least. 56-48. Tolbert. Raymond one to go to the hoop. Wally from the foul line. He cannot get it. The Sonics just can't buy a bucket. Gus's long one broke a drought of 3.5 minutes. Oh my, that's Olberding. He missed it. Corzine gets it, lays it up, no good. Taken off by Greg Kelser. Hanzik. 1:51 to go in the half. And the rookies are a little scared to shoot. Kelser shoots one. It's woefully short. Gets it back on a nice hustle play. Gus, they get it stolen by Bratz. They get it stolen by Mike Bratz. There's the steal. Tolbert, look out bucket. Can he get there? He lays it up. He gets fouled on the way in. Bratz had to foul him because Raymond would have stuffed it clear down to Puyallup. No doubt about it.
It was a foot race there. Of course, Michael Bratz a little bit faster in the open court without a basketball than Ray Tolbert is dribbling.
And to Ray's credit, he couldn't go to Gus. Gus was pretty well guarded. Tolbert already has 2 foul shots for his 2 points, and he makes this one for 3 straight. 56-49. The Sonics would be down by 6 with 1:29 to go. As bad as they've played in the quarter, that would not be too horrible to overcome. They got to play some defense and maybe give up 1 hoop while getting 3 more to be close at halftime. Ray missed it. Olberding gets it back. 7-point Sonic deficit. Nightmare quarter. 13 points. Beg your pardon, 15 points. Corzine.
Boy, he's not hesitating. He's taking it inside and he's taking it outside.
San Antonio is so loose, it's hard to believe. 1:10 to go in the half. What a turnaround. The Sonics were flying sky high with a 12-point lead. Tolbert to Wally. Back 2 men out, laid it in. Nice play.
Mark Olberding
good bucket.
conceding that as he has 2 fouls. He doesn't want to pick up his 3rd foul in this half.
Jack's out with 4. Tolbert gets knocked over by Corzine. No call. Bratz with a long one. No good. Rebound. Wally Walker. Hanzik with a man in back of him. Does he know it? Gets it knocked away by Moore. Moore was on his arm. Johnny Moore picks up his 2nd personal foul.
Second team foul in the last 2 minutes.
2nd team foul in the last 2 minutes, so the Sonics will go to the line. It'll be Bill Hanzik.
Well, if they haven't scored a lot of points, this unit right on the bench, or right on the court that's been off the bench for the last couple of minutes has certainly solidified things for Seattle, and at least stopped the slide that was apparently in progress moments ago.
Major foul shots for Hanzik. He can bring his club back to within 5 at halftime. We'll be quiet and let Billy shoot. Shooting 90% from the line in the playoffs. Bill has 7 points for the night. Now it's 58-53 Spurs. A lot of pressure. Watch the foul, Seattle. They can ill afford to give one up. 33 seconds to go. Moore with it. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Crowd helping as much as they can. Moore goes to Bratz. No good. Bounces. Hanzik's got it. They got plenty of time if they see the clock. Gus shovels it to Kelser. He lost it but gets fouled. Now the Sonics are back a bit. Kelser lost the ball, but he got fouled by Mike Bratz. And there's still 13 seconds to go in the half. Take another look.
That's a pretty good foul by Michael Bratz, as he now assured that his team will have the last possession of the half.
Yeah, why not there? Because Kelser had the bucket. Now Greg, who has seen very little action, shot only 66%. Now serving Bratz worst. I like it.
Kelser has not played in this series and played just moments in the Houston series.
Yep. Regular season shot 66% from the line. It's his first point of the night. It's only a 4-point margin now. Drake brings it to 3. All right, now here's a big defensive possession. The Sonics want to run them ragged and give them no shot. 12 seconds, 11. Spurs just want to get it in front court for a final shot. There's a pass to Moore. Stolen by Tolbert. Thrown away, but Gus might get to it. Look out. Tried to save it. It's off. Bratz out of bounds. No time on the clock. The halftime is over. Gus complaining he got fouled, but the half is over. Gus could never get to it. It didn't matter what Ray did with the ball. He just tried to save it and throw it back into his hand. Well, the Sonics have a very rough second quarter where they get behind by 9 points. And yet they still bring it back down to only 3 at halftime. That's about the best thing you can say for that second quarter. We're at the Kingdom. Game 5 of the playoffs. If the Sonics lose, it's over. If the Sonics win, Game 6, San Antonio on Friday night. At halftime, the Spurs 58, the SuperSonics 55. As the Husky cheerleaders cheer, the television times for Friday are coming into focus. If the Sonics happen to win, then the SuperSonics game would be on Channel 7 live from San Antonio at 5:30. And I believe at 11:30 that night, we would show you the Philadelphia-Milwaukee game. So you may get a doubleheader Friday night. I'm not sure if that's the legalities of that or if that's true, but the 2 games will be shown. I know that CBS is planning to do the Philadelphia-Milwaukee game. That would be game 6 of their series, Milwaukee down 2-3. And our origination from San Antonio then would be at 7:30 San Antonio time, 5:30 here in Seattle, and that would be live on Channel 7. That's all contingent, obviously, on if the Seattle SuperSonics win this game tonight.
Looking at the shooting stats, Seattle cooled off considerably in that second quarter. They shot 44% for the half. San Antonio shot 53% for the half. 3 solid players for Seattle. Wally Walker, Fred Brown, and Jack Sikma combined for 7 for 20 shooting. So I'm certain, and put that with the fact that Lonnie Shelton got but 2 shot attempts up in that first half. Those are some disturbing stats.
Well, we'll see what Lonnie likes to go with. I don't know whether he'll go with the starting lineup or not. He's going to start Donaldson, Walker, Shelton, Hanzik, and Gus Williams. So he is leaving Jack Sikma on the bench with 4 personal fouls, hoping to keep it tight until Jack can get in there. The Sonics with the ball, and here we go. San Antonio with their original starting lineup. Donaldson underneath, tried to lay it up, and they were hanging on his arm.
Very quickly, of course, that play was called out of the dressing room, and it worked very smartly as James got it down low, and just some very quick help on George Johnson's part prevented that dunk. Of course, that's a big foul as George joins Jack Sikma with 4 fouls.
George Johnson with 4, and he just absolutely hung on James Donaldson's arm. Donaldson had no chance to get that ball up over the rim. See if he can pull it down to within 1 point now with a couple of foul shots. Tough walking out of the locker room and shooting fouls and making them, but see if James can do it. Look at the concentration. Washington State grad. He hits it.
Well, he's improved the last 228 games. James Donaldson shot 75%, 74 and some change from the free throw line. So you see what a dramatic improvement over the previous 3 months of the season where he shot well under 60%.
Sonics can be within 1 with this foul shot. Early seconds of the 3rd quarter, they are. Donaldson with 7 points. They're going to depend on him now while Jack Sikma's in foul trouble. This is more. The crowd's going to get into this game in the second half, believe me. Gervin, double team. Moore alone momentarily. Going to shoot it. It doesn't go. Donaldson mistimed his jump, and the Spurs get it back. Olberding shoots. Hits.
Doesn't always happen like that.
Wow. Mark Olberding with 7 points now. The Spurs by 3. The clock. The crowd. Shooting percentage. Everything's so important. Lonnie going to the hoop. Get out of his way. He missed it. Olberding with a rebound. Lonnie got the lane and got there and couldn't get the ball to fall. Mitchell, always dangerous.
Well, your matchup at one end misses a close-in shot, and then your counterpart comes at the other end and hits a difficult 15-footer. That doesn't hold well for Seattle.
You've got to give credit to San Antonio. They're playing under pressure as well, not as much as the Sonics. There's Lonnie to the hoop. He missed it again, but he gets fouled on the way in. Then he slams it against the glass, and it goes. Now the foul is called against George Johnson, and he's got 5, and Corzine's got to come in for him.
Well, Corzine had a big first half with 8 points. Watch Lonnie Shelton going very hard.
Lonnie actually pushed Johnson into Bill Hanzlik's elbow, and George goes to the bench holding his side, hurting from a Hanzik elbow, though Lonnie's at the line. Every point so important.
In the 4 games before tonight, San Antonio has a big 3rd quarter scoring edge with the exception of Sunday. This is the 3rd quarter where it's been so dangerous for Seattle.
Before Lonnie sank that, he had missed 4 straight from the foul line. I believe the only misses the Sonics had. No, somebody else missed 1. Shelton missed 4 in a row, now makes 1, and it's 62-58. Corzine, Gus tries to overplay, and he fouled.
That's the kind you're either going to steal and go the distance or you're going to foul him. And
yep. Well, he committed himself. It's his first personal foul on number 1 and the first team foul. Sonics need a few hoops. They try the alley-oop. It won't go. The shot sky high off. No good. Donaldson with the rebound. To Gus. Jack on the bench with 4 fouls. Did not start the half. Gus got smacked in the nose. Donaldson. Double team. Hanzik clear. Gus going to take it. 19-footer. Won't go. Donaldson got held out of there, and that's why San Antonio got an easy rebound. Corzine. Down the lane. Gervin. Nope. Fouled, though, on the way to the hoop. Could have been Wally. We'll see. It is on Wally Walker. It's his 2nd personal foul and the 2nd team foul. And, of course, Gervin will go to the line, shooting 86% on the regular season, 83 from the line in the playoffs. How do you feel about this game? Do you feel the Sonics are going to be able to win?
Well, I don't have a good feeling right now, primarily because Seattle has been so ineffective at that offensive end. And once that break was taken away from them in the 2nd quarter, they've been very, very loose in the half-court offense.
Gervin makes 1 out of 2. We'll get Rick Jones, director, to show you. some of the crowd in back of the bucket the next time San Antonio goes to the foul line, because the crowd is really being a factor. Lonnie started in for the bucket, lost it off his knee, and Moore gets it back. Johnny Moore is oh so quick. Hanzik steals to Lonnie, to Gus. They got a 3-on-1 on Corzine. Gus holds it, folds it, shoots it, missed it, and they get the rebound. Oh, the Sonics with a golden opportunity for 2 or maybe more. Hanzik all over Gervin. Went to the hoop, missed it. I'm afraid Hans has got his 3rd personal foul. He does.
Well, when George makes this move from that side of the court, he almost well, there's the foul right there. But he almost always comes up with the call because he leans back so deftly into that defensive player.
And Bill caught an elbow from Gervin, and he's a little dizzy from it. Gervin makes it. Let's take a look at that crowd in back of the bench if we can, in back of the basket, because that's incredible what they're trying to do to make San Antonio miss. Watch this as they get hot now. Gervin gets ready to shoot. That's a little bit there. It is. Some of them, but not all of them.
Lenny going to Jack right now.
Gervin makes a pair, and it's now 65-58. The Spurs by 7. 9:24 to go, 3rd quarter. Sonics just have to let it all out. They've got to play with everything they've got. Donaldson on the loop. They steal it. Corzine takes it. They tried to lob it, and the pass was not to James. Corzine shoots short, bounces away in the corner. 2 men after it. Sonics. I can't see. Lenny's in front of us. What happened, Jimmy?
Well, I'm not exactly sure either. I couldn't see, but it's going to be San Antonio's ball.
9:01, 3rd quarter. Donaldson out, Sikma in. Jack with 4 fouls.
Well, San Antonio, I would imagine, going to go right inside the number 40. Corzine is a pretty good offensive player.
Gervin over Hanzik. Odd angle, missed it. In the air, Gus. They got a 3-on-2. Hanzik straight at the hoop. He didn't mess around with a pass or even look away. Johnny Moore got out of his way, and Hans goes in, and he's got 10.
And that's the offensive aggression Billy Hanzik needs.
Now the crowd getting into the defense chant. Gervin fakes Hanzik, shoots, missed it. But Moore gets the rebound, lays it in.
Well, that was Mitchell.
Mitchell is what I meant. I'm sorry. Mitchell now in the ball game with 13. 67-60, San Antonio. Lonnie, 16-footer, in and out. Gervin with the rebound. The Sonics just can't let it slip away. Moore drifts it off his foot, dives head first for it. They got a 3-on-2 to Gus, lays it in. Nice play by Gus. And Wally Walker with the pass. But San Antonio's right back at half court. Hanzik knocks it away. Fine play by Billy to Gus. Walker. In and out. Lonnie tips it. Hanzik lays it in. No bucket. No bucket. Corzine saw a foul, and it's against George Gervin, his 2nd. Now those things can excite a crowd and a ball club. Good heads-up defensive play.
Those hoops have to come off that transition apparently tonight, because in that half-court offense they've just not been producing.
Here's the half-court offense that Jim's talking about. Gus going to go up over Moore. In and out again 3 times in the last few minutes. The ball appears to go in the hoop and won't stay. San Antonio on offense. Gervin on translate claim. Wally switches with him. Up once, twice, shot, good.
Well, that's a backboard shot, and that was an intentional backboard shot from straight away from 17 feet. What a magician he is with the basketball.
19 for Gervin, 69-62. Uh-oh, Bill Hanzik in a heat got pushed away. Foul going to be called by Daryl Garrettson on Dave Corzine.
There's no question about that. I think Dave just gave up that foul and said, hey, if you're going to come down and screen me again, you're going to feel it.
Hanzik got pushed. It's the 3rd time he's gotten knocked roughly tonight. Feels in his mouth right now. See if he has a tooth loosed. He got an elbow, and now he gets shoved by Corzine. Hanzik a big man, but not as big as the guys that are pushing him around. Jack back in. Off the glass. No. Look at this bucket will not go for the Sonics. Jack with a 4-footer. He normally makes that one wouldn't go. Moore driving on Gus. Ball batted away out of Gervin's hands, but the foul is no foul called. It's going to be timeout Seattle. 6:49 to go with a nervous crowd at the Kingdom, and the SuperSonics are still down to the Spurs 69-62. Well, the Sonics in their history have had some tough times. They went to Phoenix in a must-win situation. They did. They went to Milwaukee in a must-win situation, and they did. Now they are here at home in a must-win situation, and at the moment, the Spurs have them by 7.
And the thing that has to be a little bit negative, or if you're a Sonic fan, you're not looking too positively at the moment, is the fact that that Sonic offense has just been so fluid and sweet the whole year. In the break and in the half courts has been non-existent here for better part of a quarter.
San Antonio with the ball and the lead. That's Mitchell. The only change in the starting lineups is that Corzine is playing for San Antonio for Johnson. Dave lost it right out of his hands and out of play.
Seattle shooting 2 for 9, 22% in this quarter. San Antonio barely better at 4 for 11 or 35%, and a big edge in rebounding 9-2.
Unfortunately, some of the Sonics, the shots have been gimmies and they couldn't get them. A great two-man play with Jack and Gus. Beautiful bucket as Gus gave it to Jack, who gets the hoop and goes to the line. 69-64. The Sonics can cut it to 4 points. The foul is on Corzine, his third. Take another look.
Nice pass from Gus Williams, and if you watch the ball, it wants to come out there. See there? So things are coming hard for Seattle.
Get that piano wire off that hoop. Jack Sikma, 90 games later.
Everything they can get from Jack in this last quarter and a half they need.
69-65. Olberding lobs to Gervin. Hanzik moves in. Hands outstretched. No foul. Olberding passes under. No basket. 3 seconds. Good call, Jim. Daryl Garretson spotted it at the same moment that Jimmy Marsh did. And the Sonics take it down quickly. Wally to Jack. To Lonnie. Sikma fakes going to the hoop. Lays it up. It won't go. Tries to get the rebound. Moore comes away with it on another bad hop off the rim for the Sonics. Olberding. From the corner over Wally, who invited Mark Olberding. He's got 9 points, and it's 71-65. The Spurs put it back up by 6. Wally fakes. Might have been a good shot. Jack playing the high post to Hanzik. They're not moving. Lonnie going to the hoop, lays it up. It's not going to go again. Foul called underneath, but they can't get the basket with it. It's on Olberding, and that's his third.
Seattle's had several opportunities to score inside and haven't been able to.
Olberding and Corzine with 3, Johnson with 5. Get rid of a couple of those big men, you'd be all right. And Shelton will get the shoot as the Spurs commit their 5th personal team foul.
Seattle needs to continue to pick up points here at the free throw line, as San Antonio giving Seattle every opportunity to close this gap.
Lonnie 3 for 7 from the line tonight, and the Sonics 20 for 25. Missed another one. 71-66, 5-point spread. Shot from the corner, Mitchell, but Lonnie banged into him. Lonnie really gave Mitchell something to think about, but it's his 4th personal foul, and George Gervin hurts Mitchell back up. Watch again. It's going to take a thump.
He got a piece of the ball, but believe me, he got a bigger chunk at number 34.
Mike Mitchell is not all that big. He's 6'7" at 215. Ran into Lonnie Shelton, who's 6'8" at 245. Now the crowd in back of the basket getting into it again, waving everything they can find, and he misses it. Must be helping.
Well, he missed 2 free throws in that first half.
Close on the crowd, 23,180 show up in the Kingdom, so they had last 24-hour 9,000 sales. Mitchell gets one, 66-72. Sonics are not letting the Spurs get away with it, but they can't seem to get back even as well. Jack to Wally to Lonnie. Going to the hoop. Off the glass. Won't go. All Spurs underneath. They get the rebound. Sonics are getting only one shot off their own board.
Well, when you miss shots like that, you become a little hesitant. So normal 15-footers. Oh, that's a bad call. Not a bad call. It's a good call. But I think that's an awfully inopportune foul on Lonnie Shelton. Away from the ball, and he just popped Olberding right there.
So Lonnie's got to come out of there with 5 fouls. And James Donaldson will come in. Jack forward, and Lonnie sits down.
What he can't do here is get a technical, and he doesn't. But boy, that's away from the basketball, and I guess he thought the officials weren't looking, but that's a 2-shot foul.
Olberding at the line. Made it. 73 to 66. One of our plans for tomorrow's travel and our telecast Friday could be academic if the Sonics lose. Missed it. Corzine tips it away. Gus going to save it and bring it the other way. Sonics down by 7. Need a rush. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. The hands to Gus. Goes in, loses it. Moore steals it away. He's going to come all the way with it. Shades off Hanzik, and Billy held him away and gets the foul, but Moore will go to the line.
Well, when your vaunted 2-man game between Gus and Jack doesn't go, boy, you have to feel uneasy.
Moore at the line, shot 67% the regular season. He's increased it by 16% in the playoffs, but he's only 2 for 4 tonight from the line, or 3 for 4 tonight from the line, as he has 7 points now, looking for 8 and 9.
What Seattle needs now is one of those veterans that have been here before to take this team by the nape of the neck and say, hey, we're going to San Antonio to force this game to 6 games, force this series to 6 games.
They got to get it moving. 74 to 66, 8 points per lead. They just need a spark. They're a little tenuous right now. They're a little nervous about shooting, doing what they have to do because they're down and they don't want to cause any fouls. Jack playing with 4. Lonnie on the bench with 5. Sikma went in, lost the ball out of play, knocked away by the Spurs. Wally went in the crowd, but they hold him up. Jack says he got fouled. You can see him complaining to Jess Kersey, going to word vehemently.
Seattle can't allow San Antonio to build a 10-point lead.
Gus shoots it, got it blocked in midair. Corzine comes away with it. He says he got hacked, and now the Spurs have the ball with an 8-point lead. Something's got to break loose for the Sonics, or it's all over. Mitchell, no shot. Olberding doesn't get one finally, but I'm afraid Jack knocked it out. No, they give it to the Sonics. One of the breaks of the night. Looked like Jack had hit it last, but Jess Kersey says it'll be Sonic ball. Walker and Donaldson to the bench. John Johnson and Ray Tolbert in. Tough spot for the rookie, but he's seen 90 games in that rookie year. 3 college seasons.
And there's a difference between the NCAA finals and the NBA playoffs.
Great pass. Oh, Raymond takes the pass from Jack down the lane and chats about it all the way back down the floor. Maybe the rookie will ignite him rather than a veteran. 74-68.
Well, the Bible, I think, says a child shall lead them. Somewhere.
Lonnie up in front of us. Gervin can shoot from anywhere. Missed it. Hanzik. Oh, overthrew Gus. Can he save it? He does, but to Gervin. Oh, they had a free one, and Billy in his excitement gave it away. The jumper off, no good. Tipped up, rebound, out. Everybody after it. Something called by Daryl Garrettson at half court. Foul is on Ray Tolbert. The loose ball foul is third. Well, when things were going right.
Seattle's had missed opportunity after missed opportunity, even in the transition or fast break situation. And a moment ago, they had Gus out leading the pack, and Billy just overthrew him.
Corzine with 8 at the line, looking for 9 and 10. Gets the first one. 75-68. Sonics led by 12. The Spurs have led by 9. At the moment, they lead by 7 as Hanzik comes out. And downtown Freddie Brown, where they could well use some points off the bench, comes in. Crowd is nervous. One big sweaty palm. Spurs by 8 again. Sonics have not been able to cut it down since midway in the second quarter when the Spurs went ahead. Got the 3 at halftime to Gus. 19-footer light. Falls in. Now there's a break. Hits the front of the lip with no chance to go. Happens to go high on the air and fall through. And immediately San Antonio calls timeout. 76-70. The Spurs are up by 6. 2:53 to go in the third quarter. The Sonics fighting for their lives. .253 to go. San Antonio 5 out of 14 in the quarter. The Sonics 5 out of 15. And Billy Scott, the beer man, in his colorful new suit, gets out in the middle of the floor to try and incite this crowd. And they could use some of it, I'll tell you that. 14 minutes and 52 seconds of basketball may be remaining in the Sonic season, or it may go on another day or two or all the way to the end. We'll wait and see. Olberding, Corzine. Gus was there trying to bat it away. Moore going to the hoop. Lays it up. From 4 feet away, it goes in underhanded. 78-70, the Spurs. Everybody playing well. They've got a fine team. They've really come out of the obscurity to just simply be a good team. They had a big lapse at the end of the year. Fred Brown. In and out. Unbelievable. Somebody, one of the Boeing engineers, is going to have to get me on a piece of paper sometime and show me how that ball can go below the rim and still come back out.
Inertia.
Amazing. Mitchell cut off by Tolbert nicely. Jack with a good position for the rebound. That's the way the Sonics have to play defense. Gus on Moore. He's working a quick man. Basket would not count had it gone. And the foul is called against Johnny Moore. Gus will go to the line. 1:59 to go in the quarter. Take another look.
Gus very quickly up the court. Johnny Moore right there.
Impeding Gus's progress.
Gus shooting the penalty.
Call it 1-1, but he'll shoot 2 this year. There's no 3 to make 2 or 2 to make 1, except in one rare situation that we're not going to explain right now.
Gus with 22 points. Seattle 21 of 27 from the free throw line.
Made it. 78-72. Sonics down by 6. I'd like to take time right now to welcome our special Sonics playoff network stations around the state. KIMA TV in Yakima, KREM TV in Spokane, KEPR TV in the Tri-Cities, and in Lewiston, Idaho, KLEW TV. We're happy to have you with us during this exciting NBA playoff action. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Moore working with the ball. Olberding's got to shoot. He missed it. Jack with the rebound. Sonics twice in a row. Shut out San Antonio. JJ. He knows what to do with the ball. Gus. Woo!
That might ignite it.
What a double clutcher, and the Sonics are back within 4. Gus Williams with an impossible shot. And it goes. Now defense again. Gervin on Brown. They help out, but the pass is sensational to Olberding. Gervin went up, didn't have to take the shot. He found Mark Olberding unmolested as he was triple teamed. 12 for Olberding. Gus working it slowly. 57 seconds in the third quarter. To Fred Brown. The pass made before he even arrived at the spot. Fred with a crazy shot. Jack tips it out! It just missed going in off the lip, and Olberding gets a big rebound. And they throw it away, and they're going to call a foul on John Johnson, and John doesn't like it. First foul of the game on Johnson, 80-74, and that was not a timely one, but he was trying to bat it away, and Tolbert did get the ball, but they called the foul on Johnson.
Olberding appeared to be a little bit uncomfortable in the open court dribbling the ball, and so Johnny trying to take advantage and put pressure on Olberding to try and see if he could either steal the ball or perhaps get him to turn it over.
Olberding now with 13 points. Talks to Gervin as he shoots, and it's 81-74. Spurs have played great. You can't take a thing away from them. The Sonics are just trying to get back in it. Makes them both. 82-74. Time running out. 42 seconds in the quarter. Gus signals what he wants from the club. Tolbert stops, gives to Jack. To Fred Brown. 19-footer. Missed it. Tolbert, the rebound. Goes up. Lays it in. Did he get fouled? Jump ball. Jump ball. No basket.
Oh, no. I don't want to see a technical now.
Oh,
that's too
technical foul.
That's only because he's a rookie.
Oh, Ray Tolbert. But Jess Kersey's got to take a little bit of talk in a game like this. And look at Kersey and Brown nose to nose.
You think that if Jack Sikma did that, they'd call it technical?
My, oh my, Jess Kersey, a little bit of rabbit ears in a situation like that. It's a playoff game, so important to everybody. And Lenny tells Ray we can't have it. You've got to be calm if you're going to stay in there.
That's right.
And they make the bucket. Gervin gets it, and it's 83-74. Sonics down by 9. Timeout, San Antonio. Ray said too much. A jump ball was called. No basket as Tolbert battled underneath. We'll see if we have any of that replay for you.
I think it was a pretty good call. They did get the ball on the way up, and the jump ball is the correct situation. Ray showing some exuberance. There is no way in 58 years of NBA basketball, taking it into the year 2000, they would call a foul on George Gervin, Gus Williams, or Jack Sikma in that similar situation. No chance.
So Jess Kersey listens to the young rookie say something, and Tolbert gets a technical foul. The jump ball will still be in effect. No, that's right. San Antonio gets the ball. Wait a minute. On a jump ball
it's a
situation,
jump ball
still
situation.
a jump ball.
No possession unless you had the ball.
Yep. So it's 83-74. My, oh my, oh my. The Sonics at the end of the third quarter do not look at the moment like they're going to have another day to play this year, but then who knows? They've put on some incredible comebacks. You're watching this, now you're watching the Sonic. I don't know if you're listening to Lenny. Let's listen.
They did, man. Wait for one shot or go right at it.
Lenny's saying, come on now. This game's not over with. 12-point lead in the first quarter disappeared rather quickly for Seattle.
Well, they were flying high. I even remember the score in my mind. I believe it was 27-15 the Sonics were up. And all of a sudden that 12 points disappeared and the Spurs have had the lead most of the way. 26 seconds on the third quarter clock. Jump ball. Should be Gervin and Tolbert, and Ray can jump sky high. Looks around for Gus, wanting to know where he is. Now he's got Corzine in against him. Is that going to be it? It must be Corzine with him. I think Ray can out-jump him and take it right back to Gus Williams. Let's see what happens. He did it. Now 24 seconds in the quarter. 3 points would be nice. Now Sonics letting some valuable time tick off. Shot clock is the quarter clock, and there's now 10 seconds. JJ reverses, goes to Smith to the hoop, 4 feet away, got it. 5 seconds to go. San Antonio may try and get a shot off. Don't foul him, don't foul him. Throws it from half court, and he missed it, but it still hit the backboard in a desperation try. So the Sonics get 2 back. They're within 7 in the fourth quarter. Well, you know what that's going to decide. 12 minutes of basketball to go in the regulation at the Kingdome. The 23,000 plus are into it. The Sonics are down by 7. I wouldn't go away for anything. Little discrepancy. Daryl Garrettson started to give it to the Sonics, and it is the Spurs ball to start the fourth quarter as they alternate after the opening tip. And the Sonics did have it at the start of the halftime, so it is Spurs ball, and Stan Albeck got his point across, and here we go. Patchwork lineup for the Sonics. Tolbert, JJ, and Jack with Smith and Gus. Gervin on Smith. Rolled it up his chest, and it still went to Mitchell. Smith gets it to Gus. Protected, underhanded to JJ. Behind the back, and Bratz knocked it away.
The foul's on George Gervin, his third, as Daryl Garrettson picks himself up out of the second row.
Garrettson got knocked down. The call had been made at half court, I think.
Sure breakaway, and George Gervin very wisely reached out and fouled.
That's the third on Gervin. JJ to Gus. Beautiful play. John Johnson with assists as he did 4 years ago when the Sonics won it. Gus with 27. Sonics within 5. What do you feel?
Well, the crowd's certainly starting to get into it.
Bratz to Banks. He was hot. Corzine working on Jack. Jack with 4 fouls. Can't get too close. Doesn't go, but they get the rebound. Mitchell lays it up. He's fouled by Ray Tolbert.
Well, Ray's not going to get much from Jess Kersey right now, believe me.
Not going to get anything.
Ray's working hard inside, but Eugene Banks working equally as hard, as well as Mike Mitchell, and Mitchell comes up with the offensive rebound there, and I suppose there was some body.
A team foul on each squad, but Mitchell was shooting, so he'll get 2 from the line. The Spurs are 21 out of 33. Thank goodness they've missed 12, but unfortunately they've made 22. 84-78. This would give the Spurs a 7-point advantage. Nothing is overcomable. But the Sonics have not shown a sustained drive here in the second half or in that second quarter. Now 11-10. The clock becomes so important. Is it the clock to the end of the season or to Game 6? JJ, line driver, missed it. Corzine with a major rebound.
Wow, that's a travel.
Travel on Banks.
Johnny Johnson in the right spot there, and as Eugene headed up court, all he saw was 27 in an effort to get away. He traveled.
Smith gives it to Gus. Interesting lineup for the Sonics. One that hasn't played a lot of time all year long. Maybe they'll work. To Sikma. He's 3 feet away. Nice hoop off the glass for Jack. Fine play. And Tolbert and Bratz tangled at the other end of the floor. And Ray says that he thought that Tolbert knocked it out. They say the Sonics did. The officials taking a lot of heat from the crowd close up on the floor.
That's why they have the best officiate these playoff games, because it gets so rugged and the intensity is so evident.
Corzine on Jack. They want to work on Jack for his 5th foul. Corzine lays it up. It goes in. Same thing as we saw with the Sonic shot earlier. It hit the front lip and rolled over. 87-80, and the clock continues at 10:25. Jack, 2 feet away again. No basket. Foul is called, I believe, on Corzine. Yes, that's his 4th.
Right now, Corzine really giving up position inside to Sikma, and Seattle continuing to feed 43 down low.
Go to him. Go to him. He's reliable. He'll hit for you. Feed Jack. Here's Gus doing just that. Corzine got him with a knee.
Give him all he can eat.
That's right. 10:20 to go. Gus. Smith, 3-pointer. In and out. Tip. Jack had it, lost it. Looked like the Spurs kicked it. Gus tried to get in there and palmed it. Banks palmed it. Second time down. He's made a mistake. Turns it over, and the Sonics have it back, but they're not capitalizing, Jimmy, like they have to.
Oh, that's right. That's a delay of game warning on San Antonio as Eugene took the ball halfway back to San Antonio on that call. Exciting young man.
Yep.
Thrashes around, got 7 rebounds there in that first half. Just a very, very...
No reason if San Antonio keeps their people happy financially why they won't be just a fine team in years to come. 13 on the shot clock. Smith trying to go to JJ. They lost it. Tolbert had it, lost it, out of play. Sonic ball. Woo! 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sonics down by 7. 9:53 to go. Gus going to fire it. Missed it. Tolbert trying to go for it, diving all over the floor, doing everything he can, and San Antonio brings it the other way. The Sonics have got to get that rush going.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. San Antonio continues to come up with difficult shots, have him hit the rim and go in, throw left-handed hooks up. Seattle, for their part, having a difficult time at the offensive end.
Basket by Ray. He's playing well in a pressure situation. 89-82. Plenty of time. 9:18 for Ray Tolbert. Bratz. Under the hoop. Into Tolbert. Charging. Charging on Bratz. Tolbert got one his way.
Ray Tolbert is Seattle's answer to Eugene Banks. Nice play, and he gets up and sprints the other end of the court.
He's into it. The crowd has to be, but they're nervous. Jack. A big hoop for the big boy. 89-84. Sonics back within 5. Jack with 14. Drops down. Gus on him. Gus on him. Bumps him once. He passes it away. Gets the pass off. The shot. No good. Jack with a big rebound. Goes to Smith. And the Spurs are getting knocked all over the court. Smith, pressure shot, missed it. Oh, and Banks with a rebound. Smith had a 6-footer down the lane. Gervin. My, oh my, can the man make some circus shots? 91-84. Wow. 7 points, Spurs lead as Gervin banks it off the glass again, 24 points. Just when you think you're going somewhere, your tires spin again. JJ, the veteran, working his way in. Shovel to Gus. Got it. Incredibly difficult shot. Shooting with a forearm up in the air away from the back of the basket.
29 points for Williams.
5 points. The Spurs lead. Still plenty of time. 7:48. Bill Smith, nice double team. They steal it. Tolbert's on his way. Don't lose it. He gives it to JJ. They pass it to Gus. He lays it up. Doesn't get it. Gets fouled. But they don't get the bucket out of 3 men down there. Oh my, if it's a 2-point game again, you got to think back to yourself about that one. 4th period, number 44 gets his 4th personal foul, and timeout is called by San Antonio. We'll look at that again when we come back. You're not going to believe it. 7:35 to go. The Sonics down by 5, but they're at the foul line. Part of the crowd on their feet. Let's see if we can see that breakaway again. Rick, do we have it? Colbert lost it, then realized he was in trouble, went to JJ, went to Gus. And I'll tell you, George Gervin played some outstanding defense under there, even though he got his 4th foul.
In this period, Seattle shooting 5 for 9, 58%. San Antonio 3 for 5, 60%. San Antonio big edge on the board as they continue to widen that edge on the boards. 5-1 this quarter.
Gus hasn't missed from the line tonight. He's got 5 straight. The Sonics are 22 out of 28. Gus is there for 2. He can cut it to a 3-point San Antonio lead, the lowest since the middle of the 2nd quarter. These are 2 big foul shots, folks. Take a look.
Well, Gus is in his rhythm from the free throw line. He has 30 points.
Got the first 11 of the game. Got 2. 91-88. The Sonics are at least back in it now. 7:34 to go. Is this going to be a honey of a 7-minute and 34-second game? They got Olberding dribbling into half court. Bratz takes it from him. Corzine looked at a shot. Smith is doing a good job on Gervin. Corzine takes it, missed it. Sonics had the rebound and lost it. JJ and Tolbert had it, and my, oh my, it bounces right to Mike Mitchell.
Olberding did a smart thing there. He tapped it right down inside of Mitchell. Heads up play by Mark.
Gus to JJ. They've got to capitalize every time down. Bill Smith went up for the hoop. Did he get fouled? He did. Foul is called against Mike Bratz. That's his 4th personal foul. A lot of Spurs are in foul trouble, but nobody has fouled out. Johnson with 5, Gervin with 4, Corzine with 4, Bratz with 4, Olberding with 3. Smith at the line for a couple of honeys. Shot 73% in the regular season, has not gone to the foul line in the playoffs, makes this one.
Over his career, he's just been a very, very accurate free throw shooter.
Nail-biting time at the Kingdom. Oh, missed it. 93-89. Bratz, Corzine to Mitchell. Jack fronts him as Tolbert got loose on the side of him. Corzine into Smith, no bucket. JJ with it. What's the call? Darryl Garrettson saw something at half court. Loose ball foul on Mark Olberding.
His 4th foul of the evening.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of credit to a lot of people for the Sonics. JJ being cut, coming back. Ray Tolbert, the rookie, playing. Take another look.
Well, that's a pretty good battle right there, but I have to give these 2 officials credit. They've been doing a good job, with the exception, I think, of perhaps a little overreaction on Jess Kersey's part when Ray got a little upset. I think these 2 officials have been doing a nice job of keeping this game in check.
JJ, 3rd point of the night. We'll look at number 4, which will bring the Sonics to within 2. Gervin out, more in for San Antonio. JJ missed it. Tolbert bats it out. Can they get it? Olberding bats it to Bratz. Again, they're in the right place at the right time. Mitchell, 9-footer. It's going to go off the lip. Oh. Bounces high in the air. For all intended purposes, they missed it. They could have had the bucket on the other end. There's a swing of 4 points, Jim.
Certainly right. How many at the other end have dipped out?
Incredible. JJ. Looking for big boys. Got it. Jack looked at the shot. What Russell's Corzine lays it off the glass. It won't go. It's in midair. The Spurs get it back. 95-90, 5:57 to go. Sonics got it down to 3. Here's the jumper by Mitchell. He can't miss. He just doesn't miss when he has to. Amazing, the shooting of Gervin and Mitchell.
He was guarded about as tight as anybody could guard him, and that was JJ.
Mitchell shot 51% in the regular season. Gervin shot 50%. Jack. 97-92, still 5 points with 5:35 to go on May the 5th. 5th month, 5th day. Moore, Bratz, Mitchell, knocked into Tolbert. No basket, offensive foul.
And that's the second time Ray Tolbert's gone to the court, picking up an offensive foul, and this time it's on Mike Mitchell.
Mitchell's got his third. 97-92. Sonics down by 5. 5:21 to go, but they have the ball in their end of the court. Every time down, they've got to capitalize. And double zero rather, foul on Moore. That's his fourth. And JJ will be back at the line again, where he just made what, 1 out of 2?
JJ, 1-1.
Called 1-1, but he'll get 2. And again, the Sonics can be within 3.
Seattle enjoying some free throw shooting possibilities here this quarter. And for their part, San Antonio, Seattle has but 1 team foul.
Oh my, John misses 1, practices without the ball. Got 1 out of 2, 97-93. Spurs with it, 5:15 to go. Bratz at half court. Gives to Moore. Sonics could well use a steal, but Moore is quick. Olberding off percentage shot, tipped up, Jack with the ball. Tolbert almost tipped it in. Here's Gus at midcourt. Into Moore, it's going to be charging.
No question. Good play by Johnny Moore.
And it's a good call. Great call. Nothing you can say about that.
Gus jigged to his left. Johnny Moore jigged to the right. Nice move by Moore.
Well, the Sonics battle for a rebound. They get it. They take it down court and accidentally give it away as Gus charges. 97-93, 4 points still with 4:51 remaining. Jack has played a long string of minutes with no foul. He had 4. Olberding, all the way 12-footer. He gets it. Mark Olberding, 99-93, 6 points. And a timeout's going to be called. The clock says, no, they just stopped the clock. And Jack is talking to Jess Kersey the entire time that Jess is fine on the handle on the basketball. 99-93. Sonics have crept up within 3, 4, 5, 6, but they haven't gotten the lead. Smith, the lob. Tolbert had it, gets fouled by Olberding. Is that 5? That's Mark's 5th personal foul. You can well to get him out of there. That would help.
The times that Seattle has proved to be efficient offensively in the half court, they've moved the ball from side to side. And this is one of the times they did it, and they yield a foul on Mark, as you say, his 5th, and Ray now at the line.
3 out of 4 from the line for his 7 points tonight is Ray Tolbert. 2 here. Oh, these are desperate. 4:23 remaining.
Well, the young man has been in a cliffhanger a year ago against in the NCAA finals, so he knows what pressure's about, but this is certainly a different kind of pressure at this level.
And he was on the winner. It doesn't go, and Corzine is there. 99-94, still 5-point San Antonio lead. 4:16 remaining. Sonics need a steal, they need a rebound, they need a 3-point play, they need anything they can get. Mitchell. Well, you got to give them credit. They just aren't missing Jim at crunch time. They're really not. They're loose, they're playing well.
They're moving the ball around, and more importantly, they're moving men around.
Oh my, and some of the Sonic fans are leaving as Moore steals it from Gus. This could be the end of it. John has to foul him. And Johnny Moore stole it from Gus Williams. And some of the faithful are leaving the Kingdome. And the Spurs are giving high fives on the bench. They think they've won it, and they think they're going to play LA.
Over at the other end, their counterparts, the Sonics, heads are a little bit low right now. Certainly not a team that's poised and ready for the last 3 minutes of action.
If this is it, I got to tell you, it's been fun working with you this year, and I hope we do it again. I think you did an incredible job coming off a college campus, stepping into radio and TV, and you've done a fine job. And I want to thank our crew, our directors, our producers, camera people, audio people, everybody involved for a great season. But who knows? Maybe we'll have it all back Friday night. Moore gets one of two, 102-94. Sonics down by 8. They call a timeout. Well, if there was ever sweaty palm time, it's now at the Kingdome. Some of the faithful are leaving. The others are glued to their seats. 102-94. San Antonio leads. If they win it, it's over for the Sonics. If the Sonics win, it's Game 6 Friday. .48 points out of Mitchell and Gervin for the San Antonio Spurs of their 102. Jim, it's got to be a minor miracle right now.
Well, the San Antonio team handled Seattle in the regular season 4-1, and it appears, though we don't want to foretell anything here or give up ship, but the Seattle Sonics certainly have a ways to go.
They've got to move it fast, and they've got to play great defense. Doesn't matter how many they get. Tolbert to the hoop, lays it in. Great pass from Gus DeRay. That one was called on the bench as well. Now some defense. 102-96. Not out of the 30 to go. Plenty of time. San Antonio can't stall it every time down. They've got to get some shots if the Sonics score. Moore going to drive to the hoop. Smith cuts him off, goes all the way into the bucket. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bounces. It's away. Jack's got it. Foul called. It's on Sikma.
Big edge in rebounding this quarter. I think that as much as anything tells the Sonic story. 12-2 on the boards for San Antonio.
Look at Jack. He thought the call was his way. Well, Corzine goes to the line. John Johnson talks to Jess Kersey.
Well, he thought the call went against Gus Williams as Gus was helping back inside.
Corzine makes it 103-96. 7 points per lead. 3:15 to go. Corzine, all the credit to him in the world. He's got 15. He lays it in. 14 for Corzine, and it's an 8-point Spur lead. Well, I don't think it's time for 3-point shots yet, but something's got to happen. Gus with a 2-pointer. Off the heel will not go. Jack gets out rebounded, and Gervin has it. Lenny Wilkins said it about 5 weeks ago. We'll have a better team next year. It might not be our turn till then. His words may be so true. Olberding. Mitchell. Corzine. The shot. Gervin missed it. Tolbert taps it. Sonics can't get it back. Olberding gets it back, and they get a new clock. 2:40 to go. The breaks of the game. David Halberstam wrote a book about it. Not that type of break. The breaks in the series have gone to San Antonio, but they deserve credit. They have played beautifully. Traveling on San Antonio, the Sonics get a dim light at 104-96, down by 8, 2:26 to go.
No, you certainly have to be impressed with San Antonio's play throughout this entire season.
Smith going to move toward the hoop. Going to go over Olberding. Shoots it, makes it. Great bucket by Phil Smith. 2:12 to go. 104-98. Sonics have got to pressure the Spurs into doing something wrong. Tolbert tries to steal. Mitchell. 2:03 to go. Olberding, they can't afford to foul, yet they can't afford. John mocks it away, can't get it back. Gus steals it. He's going for 2, no call. There it is. 104-100. JJ and Gus, the veterans combined. Timeout San Antonio. The Sonics are within 4 with 2 minutes to go. Gus and JJ. We got to see that one again. Holy cow. Just when the crowd was down and leaving. Watch again. JJ bats it away. Now Olberding thought he had it back. Gus wrestles it away and goes down to score the 2 and lays it in unmolested. 104-100. Could it happen?
Just when the last door is going to be shut on the season. Or some of the people, they come out, and now there's a real chance. The thing that would lead people to believe that they're with 3 and some minutes to go and down 8, and would lead people to believe that Seattle didn't have an excellent chance, was that they hadn't played well offensively. They'd had shots go in and come out, and at the other end, to their credit, San Antonio kept battling, and those shots for them kept going in. So there would be nothing to lead one to believe that Seattle might have a chance, even though there was well over 3 minutes to go.
Bill Scott leading the cheers in the background. And he's going to get the remainder of this. 23,180 excited.
Everybody stand up, 1, 2, 3!
I would think this crowd would want to be on their feet for the remainder of this one. Why sit down? Get up, make some noise, and try and help the Sonics bail it out. You got your bag packed if you need it. It's ready to go. Line is through.
Jack Sikma has 5 fouls. Lonnie Shelton's on the bench with 5. No other Sonic on the court. Imminent danger of fouling out on the San Antonio side. George Gervin with 4. George Johnson on the bench with 5. Mark Olberding on the court with 5. And those are the only ones in foul trouble.
All right, 1:54 to go. Spurs 104, Sonics 100. Sonics have to overplay, but they can't afford to foul. They just can't foul, and yet they can't let the Spurs get any easy shots. They could use a steal right here. Corzine at half court. 2 more. 1:50 to go. Oh, this is a honey. What would Friday night be like? What would Sunday be like if Friday night's like this?
Well, they've all been just like this.
Or little trouble. 8 seconds in the shot clock. Gervin off balance. Oh, goes in. Incredible George Gervin.
What can you say?
What can you say?
Woo.
Makes it in the absolute have to make it time. They go to the Iceman, and that's why he's called the Iceman. 1:30 to go. Jack Sikma against Corzine. Double team. Double team. Taken away from him. Strip. Gus gets it back. Goes up with it off balance. Makes it, and he's fouled. The Sonics could be within 3. 1:23 to go. Gus came out of the pack. Jack got double teamed. Got the ball smacked away. Came out of the pack, made the 6-foot with a looper, got fouled by Gervin, and that's his 5th. And Gus will be at the line for one of the biggest foul shots of his career. He's got 35 points now, and this could be 36. He's got it. The Sonics are within 3. 1:23 to go. Olberding signals what he wants. The Sonics have got to get that basketball back.
I think he gave the signal for a basket.
They cannot let San Antonio score. They cannot. 1:11 to go. 11 on the shot clock. Moore dances around the 3-point line. Goes right with it. 2 seconds. They may not get the shot off. Olberding, ball away. It goes in. No basket. They count the bucket. They count the bucket. Olberding hit it at the buzzer. 108-103. My, oh my. Gus may have to pop a 3-pointer. Or maybe JJ or Jack or Gus. Nope, they're going to go inside. Tolbert to the hoop. Lays it up. Couldn't get it there. Gets it back. Goes up with it. He gets fouled. That shot, that's just incredible. Corzine fouls his 5th, which may be academic. I'm amazed by that shot. Not the ones coming up. Because Tolbert goes up, gets fouled on the initial there, so the rebound didn't even count. And Ray's got a couple of foul shots that'll tear your heart out. Sonics make these 2, they're still in it. Hanzik will come in for Phil Smith. If I was Albeck, I might call a timeout to let him think about it. But Ray's practicing without the ball.
1 for 2 a moment ago.
He's got to make them both to get Sonics within 3 points. He knows it. That he's been in a situation with that NCAA. Missed it. $10 points for Ray. Comes out and talks to JJ. JJ gives him some encouragement. That one got the Sonics to within 3, but now they can only get to within 4. Got to put full court pressure on. He missed it again. Maybe he missed it on purpose, I don't know, but the Spurs get the rebound. Olberding gets fouled. The foul is on Tolbert. He came off the line, missing a couple of foul shots, and fouled Mark Olberding. And if Olberding makes one of these, or both, it's over. Oh, my. Sonics had it down to 3, Jimmy. That's right, they will not shoot it.
First foul in the last 2 minutes.
That's right, they won't shoot it, so they'll bring it in bounds. Full court pressure. Mitchell back to Olberding, 40 seconds. Sonics need a steal. They've got to trap him and steal. They get the trap working on Olberding. 2 men at him. What happened? Ball is out of bounds. Sonics knock it out. 32 seconds. The season may be over.
You need a quick steal, 3-point play, another steal, and a 2-point play.
Timeout. I think Olberding asked for that. Or, he asked for JJ to back away from him. Daryl Garrettson says, all right, 32 seconds. Olberding puts it into play. Moore bangs into JJ. He's all around him trying to get the ball away and holds it and fouls when he has to. 108-103. At the beginning of the year, you tell me San Antonio is going to beat the Sonics 8 out of 10 times. I don't think I'd have believed you. Moore at the line. He'll get 2. 103, 28 seconds remaining. Here's Moore at the line. This is the nail in the coffin. I'm afraid that's it, Jimmy.
Well, I think it's definitely an uphill battle from here. Let me quickly say, I appreciate your help in helping me through this most difficult first year in this business. Thank you very much, Wayne.
Thank you, Jimmy. Moore misses the shot. Tolbert gets the rebound. Sonics called timeout. 27 seconds to go. Well, a lot of conjecture on what's going to happen next year with the SuperSonics. I've kind of gone on record as saying that I think if the changes come for the Sonics, it'll be at the forward spot. The guards look to be in just excellent shape. I think they'll want more scoring out of Bill Hanzik with Gus at guard. Certainly Fred Brown is a year older, but still active enough to play. Phil Smith was a fine acquisition and a good veteran. And certainly Mark Radford is counted on to be one of the future stars of the SuperSonics. The centers with Donaldson and Sikma look to be pretty well set, unless you could get a Moses Malone. But the forward spots, that's where the confusion seems to be. Greg Kelser, Danny Brains, John Johnson, Ray Tolbert, Wally Walker, and even Lonnie Shelton at the big forward spot.
Well, they got some great play out of Lonnie throughout the year. Of course, you know, Wally Walker was a part of that front line that fashioned a 52 and 30 season. So that's, you know, that's not chopped liver when you're looking at, they gave Los Angeles an excellent run for their money. I think as you look over the season, you know, very quickly, and you look at so many times, missed opportunities, I think, is a key word here, because they had leads in so many games, almost insurmountable leads. And just harken back to just a couple days ago in San Antonio, where we did a game where they had 21-point lead in the first half and ended up losing at the buzzer, 11-point lead in the second half Sunday and lose at the buzzer. This team's not that far away, Wayne.
They need a 3-point shot right away. You've got to get one going. Gus is going to go inside, loses it, traveled with the ball. Gus Palmer trying to turn and desperately get to the hoop to get fouled while he made a 2-pointer. Gus turned it over, and it's 109-103, 22 seconds to go. Spurs lead it. Half court to Corzine. They won't even go near the bucket. Mitchell looked at a shot and just backed away. To Moore, to Mitchell. 11 seconds. San Antonio Spurs are off the bench. They know they've won it. They beat the Sonics 4-1 in the playoff series. They'll go play the Lakers
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. The season is over for the SuperSonics. It's all over.